Hello, today I've decided it's a great time to start a Minecraft survival world with the release of the auto crafter in the 1.20.4 experimental mode. In this world, I want to build some amazing projects including many different auto farms, factories, mega bases, and more. However, in order to do all of that, we will need to complete the basics of Minecraft. So, let's see how fast we can get diamonds. But first, we must mine some trees. And while in the middle of murdering the environment, if you want to see more of these videos, please hit the like button and subscribe as it tells me you like watching my videos. And now that we got some wooden tools, we can get some cobblestone and craftstone tools so that we can go mining for iron. So as you can see, I've just found a pillager outpost not that far away from where I started, and I believe there is a village nearby somewhere in the distance. And I believe there are chests in the outpost, but I don't really feel like dying yet. I will remember this and come back in a bit though. Well, I've just explored that entire cave and only found 3 iron, and it's also nighttime, so I'm going to craft a bed, and that pillager outpost is my target in the morning. Alright, I'm trying to figure out the best way to approach this place without dying. Honestly, I've never been to one of these, so I have no idea if I'm going to die instantly or what's up. I guess I'll just build up with dirt here and sneak my way into here without all of them being alarmed. They sound pretty angry. Oh, why are you here? Die. Oh wait, I just realized that the guy I killed gives the hero of the village effect. And on top of that, there is nothing good in these chests. Well, I guess I'll stay as far away from the villages until I can get better gear. Back to mining. Okay, I finally got an iron pickaxe and I actually saw a few diamonds over here. Well, that might have been more than a few. I didn't expect the veins to be that large. And now I have a diamond pickaxe and have extra diamonds to create a chestplate and sword. And after about 30 minutes of continuous mining and exploring the cave, I came out with an additional 30 diamonds and some other valuables. And I must say, this is like the best cave I've ever mined in. Not like I've really mined in very much any other cave, but yeah, we won't talk about that. And while I was down there, I also found a spider spawner, which I'll definitely keep in mind for the future. Maybe we will create a spider farm or EXP farm or something like that. But in the meantime, I've finished crafting a diamond set with the extra diamonds we got. And look at that, we're officially decked out in full diamond armor. It only took around an hour, but we got there, right? And now, the next thing on our to-do list is to look for a spot to start a civilization, which I really want to be in some type of flat terrain with some mountains. I think this might actually be the spot. It has everything I'm looking for. Space, mountains, flatlands, and more. It will seriously be perfect for all the projects I'm planning, and I think that this mountain is perfect for our starter base, as it's got an amazing view over everything else. So, I guess it's time to begin prepping for our starter base. But before we do anything, we really need to get rid of this gross green stuff that is on top of the mountain. I just can't stand it. Alright, so here's the plan for the starter house. We are going to create a medieval type house with a gate drilled into the foundation, allowing for people to come and visit the grounds as they please. And I would also like to add a lot of plant life and foliage to enhance the environment and really make it feel like it's been here for hundreds of years. And after that, we will add a small pathway going down the mountain, showing how many travelers truly voyage through our small civilization. But before we start gathering resources, we do need to craft some extra iron pickaxes and axes so we can mine for longer without having to come back. Now for the fun part. We are going to need a lot of spruce and oak wood, cobblestone, smoothstone, and deep slate for the base bones of our building. So, without procrastinating anymore, let's get started. Ooh, I see a sunken ship in the distance, and there's actually a spruce biome right next to it. Maybe we can get a treasure map or something out of the ship and go treasure hunting. Well, that took longer than I would have liked. Who would have thought that digging out a sunken ship would be so hard? And after all that, I couldn't even find a treasure map. Aren't pirate ships supposed to have those? But anyways, after that waste of time, I think we should start mining for a lot of spruce logs. And when I say a lot, I mean probably around a chest or two just to be safe. So, I didn't anticipate on how much food I was actually consuming, and pretty soon here we're going to be starving. So, I think it's a good idea to create a cow farm so that we can get unlimited beef. And all we need for this is some fences and gates. And maybe a few friendly creatures to domestically exploit. It looks like we're attracting more than just cows. Jesus, it's like the zombie apocalypse here. I also made a wheat farm down by the water so that we can breed our subjects. And now that we have unlimited food, I'm really getting sick of these regular old diamond tools. It's just taking too long to farm the materials just for the foundation of the build. therefore, the next thing we need is an enchantment table. Luckily, it isn't too expensive. But now is the hard part. We need bookshelves, but that requires a lot of leather and sugarcane for paper. The good thing is that we do have quite a bit of sugarcane growing close by. But I guess it's time to depopulate the cows. I think there should be enough paper and leather to make enough bookshelves. I set up this little underground room to hold our very precious enchantment table. And now, the thing that is going to make my life so much easier, efficiency 4. Oh, that is so beautiful. And on top of it, we got Unbreaking 3 and Silk Touch as well. I do need some more levels to do the pickaxe though. Nothing a little monster murdering won't help. Really? Silk Touch and Unbreaking 3? Well, I guess I'll just worry about the pickaxe later then. But for now, I can finish farming the rest of the logs we're going to need for the starter base. I have to say, it is so nice being able to mine logs so much faster. I'm so glad I made the enchantment table now instead of later. But now that we have enough logs, I hope at least, it's time to mine for the hard stuff. And when I say hard stuff, I mean it in more ways than one. Not only is it hard to mine, but we need a lot of it. So I guess we'll start with stone and go from there. This probably isn't enough, but it will do for now. And now I get to mine the actual hard stuff. This is probably going to take a year, but we might as well get started. Okay, so that's probably about 1/10 of the deep slate we're going to need for this build, and that took like an hour. But anyways, I'm wondering if tough blocks would be a good block to add into the block gradient for the foundation of the build. I'm just going to get some just in case. I think it would be a nice touch. You know, I don't really know why, but there's like 20 zombies coming from this one area. There must be a spawner or something, right? Hi, little zombie dudes. I'm just gonna, yeah, we won't talk about that. Jesus Crimey, what is going on here? They're all stuck in the gravel blocks. So there's like no spawner, I guess. Oh wait, here it is. And actually, I think this is like the perfect opportunity to create an experience farm. That's exactly what we can do. Alrighty, that didn't take too long. All we need to do now is remove the torches and watch the zombies collect. And now we can kill multiple zombies at one time and get EXP much quicker. But now that we got the basic materials, I want to begin by laying the outline of the foundation with stone, cobblestone, stone bricks, and tough blocks. I think this is a pretty good outline. And I've also added these arches right here because if you remember at the start of the video, I said that we were going to create a gate that allows our civilians to pass through. But anyways, I want to finish creating the foundation for the tunnel that will pass through our large house along with building up the rest of our foundation walls. And while I am building the foundation, I wanted to show you guys a drawing of the build I have in mind that I drafted in Paint. It's only an overview, but you get the idea. And I didn't record it, but I added stairs around the top of the foundation for a much more textured and stable look when it gets connected to the house. I'm going to have to go mining here again soon as I'm getting low on resources, but I'm finally level 30 again and I'm feeling a little lucky. So it's a perfect time to test my luck on high efficiency for my pickaxe. And drum roll, please. Oh my god, perfect. Unbreaking 3 as well. Well, that was the best timing ever because I need more materials to finish the foundation. And there's the foundation finished. And this tower right here, I may raise a bit higher, but I'm not sure yet. It entirely depends on how tall the roof is. You may not see my vision yet, but this is like the perfect foundation for what I'm going to build. And with that, we can begin setting up the frame of the walls. I'm thinking the house is going to be comprised of 2 stories additional to the foundation of the building. There is going to be the first story, which is what I'm working on right now, and then a second story that is a few blocks inwards that goes up and is closed off with a detailed roof. I think this is a pretty good outline. What do you think? I haven't made the main roof's outline yet as I'm kind of procrastinating doing it on top of the fact that I have no idea how I want to build it. I definitely want it to be a bit pointy though. But for now, we can start working on the hardest part, which is trying to fill in these walls without making it look like a mess. And for this, I went into creative and made up a few designs that I could easily replicate and make different designs out of. And initially, I was going to use spruce wood, but it was just too dark, so I decided to settle with oak planks and stripped oak logs going in different directions. And I think it's a pretty good backdrop for our designs. But before we start on the wall designs, I was actually able to get another efficiency 4 enchantment for my pickaxe, but as you can see, I don't have enough EXP. But it's a good thing we have a huge monster spawning cave down below the base. And now that we have both efficiency 4s, we can make the holy efficiency 5 pickaxe. But anyways, now that we have the best pickaxe in the game, I'd like to procrastinate building the walls a bit more and start working on some of the roof for our first level of the house. And it's probably a good idea to do the roof on the first level before the walls anyways, as it gives us a spot to stand on while detailing. And for this roof, we're probably gonna go for a more flat flat style in contrast to the top of the roof, as that's going to be more of a pointy style. And this is what the first layer looks like. It doesn't look like much yet, but trust me, once we get the entire roof on and then start getting these walls detailed, it's going to look amazing. And it's at these points in the build where you start thinking, how is this going to turn into the image in your head? And it's really hard to show you guys progress of the build when the recordings are so long. But anyways, while we're at it, we might as well spend the time working on the pointed rooftop, starting with the sides. And after many excruciating hours of placing deep slate, we're finally down to the last few blocks. And I can definitely say that I'm sick of deep slate now. I obviously still have to do the detailing on the roof, but the basic build is done. Doesn't it look beautiful? But anyways, now that we've finished the basics, I've realized that I would rather finish detailing the roof before I do the walls. But before we do that, we're going to need to go on another deep slate mining run because I've used all of my materials on the roof. And the really cool thing about editing is that I can just pop the deep slate into my inventory without going into the mines. Isn't that just cool? But anyways, so that I don't bore you, I've created this very awesome super cool replay mod time lapse that shows me spending days on end placing more blocks on this incredibly already heavy rooftop. Also, it took me a while to realize that the middle thing was off center, but I do end up fixing it and making it overall look better later in the video. I was just having a look at all the diamonds I have, and geez, look how many we have mined. I haven't specifically been looking for diamonds either. This is just from the moments where I'm mining and they appear. But anyways, now is the time we start designing the walls. And before I begin, I was thinking that brown stained glass will be a perfect match for the wall colors we already have. And obviously, I came up with this while I was experimenting in creative earlier. But first, we need sand to create the glass we're going to need, which shouldn't be too hard to find. And it's pretty easy to mine as well, as I have this efficiency 4 shovel. I think an inventory of sand should be enough for now. And I was able to use the small lava pool we have down by the wheat farm to power the furnaces. But anyways, sand was the easy part, as now comes the real challenge. We need cocoa beans to make brown stained glass, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but there isn't any jungle near us. So I guess it's time to go traveling across the ocean until we can find this very rare and ancient bean. And on the way there, I actually found a sunken ship that actually had a treasure map this time. I think it's a good idea to see what buried treasure lies within these beaches. It's saying we're right on the X, so now we can use the trusty shovel we have, and we got complete junk, so that was a complete waste of time. But anyways, back on task. I completely forgot to record, but we finally found a jungle. And also, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm experimenting a bit with shaders, and I think it looks beautiful. You'll definitely see me switching off and on during the video as I'm trying to get a feel for what looks best. It's just annoying when all the builds have really dark shadows. I'm guessing that just means I need to add lighting, but that's just overrated. But anyways, now that we've got the beans, we can forever grow them at the base and have all the brown stained glass we will ever need. And now we can finally begin the never-ending construction of the walls. I've been procrastinating doing this forever now, but it's one of those last few things that need to be done before we call the house complete. Now, for these walls, I'm using a combination of spruce planks, fences, stairs, slabs, and brown stained glass to get the best depth and detail possible. And I'll say, I think these are looking pretty amazing so far. It's pretty incredible what a little depth and detail can do to a build. But anyways, I'm just going to speed through these first 2 sets of walls as it's basically the same thing over and over again. And while we're in time-lapse mode, we might as well finish the designs on the top layer and other side as well. And I think these are turning out pretty nice. I love the symmetry with the designs, it just doesn't look messy at all. And now it's time for a break because I'm fresh out of wood again. So you know what that calls for? A logging session. And I think we're going to need an inventory or so for now until I realize how much wood I actually need for the build. You know, it gets kind of repetitive doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, the designs are obviously different for each wall, but just the sight of wood makes me nauseous. But anyways, I've been thinking about how I'm going to detail the walls that connect to the roof for the longest time, and I'm probably just going to wing it because I have no idea how I want to detail it. But anyways, I better stop procrastinating and get started because otherwise this is never going to get done. And after some much needed detailing, look how amazing it looks. It's kind of like a pro built it or something. I only have a screenshot for now as it's the only way for me to show you it in all of its glory. And I also decided to go and do the same designs on all the other walls as it's going to take forever and it's basically the same thing over again. And off camera, I also designed the porch with a nice grading of stone blocks just like the foundation. It's a pretty nice accent to the wood of the house. But now we can mind that because the inside clearly needs some attention. I've kind of forgotten that insides are not my specialty. If you have any suggestions on what rooms I can put in here, please let me know in the comments. But for now, I think I'm just going to stick with replacing the floors with wood and making sure everything is lit properly. I'm thinking an average oak plank and stripped log combo will look pretty nice as the floor. And then on the top layer where the chest room will be, it will be filled with the same blocks as the foundation of the house. And I'll be honest with you guys, that's all I'm going to do interior design wise for the house as of now because I'm terrible when it comes to inside building. But at least we got a nice big lit up house with storage to call home. And now that just leaves the outside that needs to be done. And I think we can start by creating a pathway leading from the tunnel under the house to the porch. The trail will go down the mountain in the future, but for now we can just leave it at the edge. And again, we're using the same blocks we used as the foundation with the addition of coarse dirt and stone buttons. And it looks pretty good. And I think we can spruce it up a bit more by adding leaves on the edges of the pathway. Ooh, look how good that looks. And in these empty areas, we can add wheat to pull it all together. And now we just wait till all the wheat is grown and witness our masterpiece.